A deal on Dickens, who could resist? A stack of Austen, warmly kissed. Golden Age crime tales twist and turn, every page a treasure to learn. Books keep coming home with me, piles so tall they're all I see. Turn a page and sail the sea, reading always feels so free.
Hi, my name is Talia. Welcome to Talia Nerds Out. I know the lighting is slightly weird in here, and I'm not sure how the sound is because I'm using my new computer because that's what's already set up right now. So I had a flickering light on this side, so I've changed to an amber uh, light bulb until I can get a different dimmable coming in. And so we have amber light at this side. This side is normal light, but I just couldn't handle the flickering anymore. It was making me tired, and it wasn't helping the headaches I've been getting. So hence why I'm half amber, half not amber. So anyway, just want to do a quick video with some of the things I'm planning to do for April. Yes, this probably looks weird as well, but like I said, the past week has been a bit rough. Not hugely so, but I just want to block some more light. That's why I made these. But I'm reaching over to grab my book bag. Oh, this thing's heavy. This was a Christmas gift, and I've just not had the opportunity to show it off. And that holds the books that I am currently reading, and as well as my tabs. What else is in there? Oh, my annotating sticky notes, which I don't use nearly as much as I should, with the like with the Sharpie that can write on them. Oh, highlighters are in there as well. So it's a rather heavy bag. Oh, my planner. It's a rather heavy bag, but it's really heavy duty and it's able to handle it. But plans. I'm going to set the planner to the side. My Agatha Christie for the month. I'm over halfway through. I started yesterday because I was trying to finish up stuff for quarter one for Historathon, so I got a bit behind. But Towards Zero is the Agatha Christie I am reading for this month. What was the prompt? The prompt for this month was Beloved in Your Collection. And Towards Zero has been a long-time favorite. It's a superintendent battle mystery, and it's a really good showing of his character. I've read and reread this multiple times. There's really not much to surprise me in here. Most of it is going to be maybe nuances I didn't catch last time, just a revisiting of an old mystery that I have always really enjoyed. And I always catch something new every time. Next, I had mentioned wanting to read this after I had finished reading The Wheel Spins, which was the original name for the book that Alfred Hitchcock's The Lady Vanishes was based off of. Now, The Lady Vanishes does play a part in this particular book, and I had never watched Lady Vanishes or read the book it was based off of prior to reading this one, so I had heard about The Lady Vanishes the first time in this sci-fi, kind of like a sci-fi noir, sci-fi Hitchcock kind of thing. I love this book. This is Timothy Dawn. He's my favorite sci-fi author. I've heard him described as soft. Sorry, my mouth is working. As soft sci-fi. The first time I read his work was through Star Wars. But his original works are well worth reading, and I highly recommend them. this comes from the Quadrail series, and I think it's like a 7-book series. See, that one's a different series. This one doesn't have the full series here on it, but this is the first book in that series. I mean, he does have long series, or longish series. His Dragonback series is 6 books. He's still writing his Icarus series. What's cool is that he is currently still writing. He also has solo books. And my screen tried to time out. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully, there we go. Okay, let me get my little mouse move thing that'll keep my screen from timing out. Okay, there we go. But yes, I want to see this read around if I can pick out how much the Lady Vanishes influenced Zahn in his writing. Although he has also mentioned in passing North by Northwest. So obviously Zahn is a Hitchcock fan. My mom is rereading this with me. We're trying to keep at generally the same pace. I've reread this many times. This is my mom's first reread of it. She's only read it once, although she really loved it the first time. So we're probably going to be going through the series, at the same time. We're not reading it together like we are Austin. We're reading it aloud, but we're reading it together, more like a book club read together. I finished. Oh, where is it? I already started and finished the sagas I needed to for Saga Along in here, the Saga of the Icelanders. So we were reading, and I'll have to try to remember to do a review on them. The Saga of Hrafnekul Frey's Godi and the Saga of the Confederates. So we were reading those for Saga Along. I prefer the Saga of the Confederates personally, but part of it is because I prefer the ending of the Saga of the Confederates. I felt that the first one kind of had a bit of a disappointing ending, but I can go into that more at some other point. I'm not going to put that up there right now. Stay. Then, because I finished that, I needed to start my next fairy tale, and I'm kind of torn. Do not fall. Good. I am torn between the 12 Dancing Princesses, which I think is actually going to be the one I start, which is all different tales that are of the type of the 12 Dancing Princesses from around the world, or the original Robin Hood. I kind of want to start this one, but it has an introduction which is more scholarly than my brain is at right now, and I have a feeling that I also am going to want to read the verses aloud like I would if I was reading Baron and Luthien, or any of the kind of poetic tales, anything Arthurian, anything like that. So I have a feeling that I would want to read this aloud. I'm not sure that's where my brain is at right now. 12 Dancing Princesses, on the other hand, is rather thin, and although the type is small, and should be easy reading if I just need a couple short stories here or there. I haven't made up my mind yet. I need to finish, or at least make good progress on the stripping of the altars. The good thing is that this can work for both quarter 2 and quarter 3, since it's medieval through Tudor time. And this is Eamon Duffy. I started this. When did I start this? In November 2025. No, May 2025. So this is a long time read, but it's a good book. I finally realized. So I picked up the Audible book, or I already had the Audible book or something, and I should have taken advantage of it a long time ago, simply because the sections where he has the Old English written in Old English, which can sometimes be hard to understand, hearing it really helps. So when I get to those sections, I go to the audiobook so I can hear it and be like, oh, that's what they're trying to say. Because I wish that he would have written the Old English parts in a more understandable way, because going to my medieval dictionary has not been helpful in figuring it out. It's the spelling that's the issue. So listening to it in those areas have been helpful, although I do prefer to actually read most of it. Sorry, Mike. I am continuing to read The Gentleman in Moscow, which I started at the pleading of my mom, who really wanted to read this with me. I don't. She likes it a lot better than I do. I don't dislike it. It's just not. I've got other books I am reading that I enjoy more. But when I sit down and read it, it does go quickly. So I should just take a few minutes to read some, maybe a bit each day, and I'll make my way through it rather quickly, I'm sure. I also had started reading Agatha Christie's autobiography. I'm the same read along that I'm doing on Instagram that's having a year of Agatha Christie. It's the official Agatha Christie Instagram page. They do, I guess, Agatha Christie read alongs a lot, and this year it's an Agatha Christie each month based off of those prompts that I was referring to earlier. And the year long is her autobiography, which I've been intending to read for a long time. So I started that, and there's no rush on this. This is supposed to last me all year. And it's an easy read. It's interesting because I've read two actual biographies of hers about her. So to read her autobiography now is kind of cool to, get her own perspective and her own style, because unsurprisingly, she's easy to read. Now, I do have a couple that I would like to read. I had intended to do the Lindisfarne Gospels, but I don't think that'll happen this year. Do not fall. Do not fall. You are going to be good. Yes, you are. Okay. I decided not to continue with the Lindisfarne Gospels because it's a big, thick book, very heavy, and I didn't think I could handle stripping of the altars and the Lindisfarne Gospels, finishing that. So I picked one. And I've got other options that I can read for quarter two Historathon as well. So I started my first quarter two Historathon book, other than Stripping of the Altars, which is a continuing from previous Historathon for last year. But this one I barely started, but this is a Folio Society book, The Monks of War. I've already read a book by Dan Jones on the Templars, but I was mostly interested in this not just because of the Templars, but because I want to learn about the other um, military monks. So, like the Hospitallers and the Teutonic Knights. I know next to nothing about them. So I wanted to learn more about them, and I'm hoping that that's what this book will provide. Besides which, it's got a beautiful cover. Now, I did get this used. Looks like it was from the Radlett Reformed Synagogue Library at one point. The gold stamp is mine. So that's cool. I haven't gotten very far in. Just in the first section. But I look forward to this. It looks like it'll be an easy read. Apparently it was written in 1970, so I don't know if any new studies, any new information has come out on the military orders since then, but this is going to be a good introduction, I think. Besides which, like I said, the book is beautiful. Another Folio Society one that I picked up used is The Pastons, A Family in the War of the Roses, and I'd like to read this one this year as well if I have the opportunity. But I don't know if that'll happen or not. And it also has its own bookmark waiting for it to be used. Other ones I have possibly set aside for this quarter is The Artist and His World by Audrey Rublev. Partially because this is a quick read, and I might need that kind of like quick pick me up read. This is one of the Riction Medieval Lives books, and I have several of this series. And this has to do with, I think it's medieval. I mean, I know it's medieval. I mean, I think it's Russian medieval art, which is really interesting to me because I know next to nothing about that. Yeah, so yeah, it's an account of the life and work of, I'm sorry, Andrei, not Audrey, of Andrei Rublev, whose icons and frescoes illuminate the dark ages of medieval Russia, which I know nothing about, so this will be kind of cool. It fits with my interest of an art history, but also medieval history, and it's an area of medieval history that I haven't really dipped my toe into with the Russian history. And then the last one that I am looking forward to potentially reading is one that could cross over besides, with having some aspects of Quarter One Historathon, it can pass over past that. And this is Galileo Goes to Jail and Other Myths About Science and Religion. I picked this up a long time ago, at least several years ago, and I want to say I remember reading that it was a group effort. They made an effort to have multiple, they didn't just want to have just Christians or just of any one group. From what I understand, and I don't know where I found it, this has people from different religions, but also people who don't have religion involved in writing this. Sorry, let me turn off that alarm. I have to get going pretty soon. Okay, here we go. Ronald Numbers has recruited leading scholars in the new history of science, to puncture the myths from Galileo's incarceration to Darwin's deathbed conversion. So it's a different person each chapter. I forget where I remember reading that it wasn't, they made a point of not having it be just people who were religiously motivated, but I can't find where that is. But yeah, I look forward to reading each of these. I can't, like I said, I can't find where I think it might have been in the eBay description when I picked it up. Yeah, each chapter is a different person writing it. So, I think it might be in the introduction where it is. Oh, here we go. This is where I found it. Unlike the Master Mythmakers, White and Draper, the contributors to this volume have no obvious scientific or theological axis to grind. Nearly half, okay, first of all, let me go back. Historians of science have known for years that White's and Draper's accounts are more propaganda than history. An opposing myth that Christianity alone gave birth to modern science is disposed of in Myth 9. Yet the message has rarely escaped the ivory tower. The secular public, if it thinks about such issues at all, knows that organized religion has always opposed scientific progress. The religious public knows that science has taken a leading role in corroding faith. As a first step toward correcting these misperceptions, we must dispel the hoary myths that continue to pass as historical truths. No scientist in our knowledge ever lost his life because of scientific views. And then it continues on. Unlike the master mythmakers, White and Draper, the contributors to this volume have no obvious scientific or theological axis to grind. Nearly half, 12 of 25, self-identify as agnostic or atheist, that is, unbelievers in religion. Among the remaining 13, there are 5 mainstream Protestants, 2 evangelical Protestants, 1 Roman Catholic, 1 Jew, 1 Muslim, 1 Buddhist, and 2 whose beliefs fit no conventional category, including 1 pious Spinozist. I've never heard of that. Over half the unbelievers, including me, grew up in devout Christian homes, some as fundamentalists or evangelicals, but subsequently lost their faith. I'm not sure exactly what to make of this fact, but I suspect it tells us something about why we care so much about setting the record straight. The final word about our use of the word myth. Although some of the myths we puncture may have helped to give meaning to the lives of those embracing them, we do not employ the term in its sophisticated academic sense, but rather use it as done in everyday conversation to designate a claim that is false. So some of the claims that are touched on in here, and then I have to go, are myth 1, that the rise of Christianity was responsible for the demise of ancient science, which was actually a myth touched on a book I just finished about, sorry, my brain just broke, about Galen, which kind of annoyed me, which is what made me start this book, because I knew that wasn't fact. So the first myth they cover is the rise of Christianity was responsible for the demise of ancient science. Myth 2, the medieval Christian church suppressed the growth of science. Myth 3, the medieval Christians taught that the earth was flat. I know that I had read somewhere who wrote against that. I think actually even Bede wrote against that. Can't remember though. Myth 4, that medieval Islamic culture was inhospitable to science. I had already known that that one was a myth. Myth 5, that the medieval church prohibited human dissection. Myth 6, that Copernicanism demoted humans from the center of the cosmos. Myth 7, that Giordano Bruno was the first martyr of modern science. Myth 8, that Galileo was imprisoned and tortured for advocating Copernicanism. Myth 9, that Christianity gave birth to modern science. Myth 10, that the scientific revolution liberated science from religion. Myth 11, that Catholics did not contribute to scientific revolution. I knew that one was false already as well, but I grew up, Catholic. I am Catholic. Myth 12, that René Descartes, I know I said that wrong, Descartes, originated the mind-body distinction. Myth 13, that Isaac Newton's mechanistic my mouth's not working, cosmology eliminated the need for God. Myth 14, that the church denounced anesthesia in the childbirth on biblical grounds. Actually, there's too many myths for me to note because there's 25 myths. But you get the idea. It goes on with Darwin and Einstein and everything. But the myths about science and religion, this is a really cool book. I like the fact that they went and made sure to get as many possible, points of view. So, like, people not just going from one bias. So they would try to get the most unbiased they could to fight previous biased reportings on science and religion. This not only is a nice counterpoint of having just finished Galen, where it expressed the myth that basically science died for a while with Galen because of the rise of Christianity, but also it's a good counterpoint and a good, actually good continuation of a book that I read about science and religion. I want to say it was in 2024, maybe it was 2025. I think it was 2024 though. So this is kind of nice coming off of that as well. So I hope to start maybe this quarter. Anyway, those are my plans for April. I do need to get going, but I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that the tech is going to be okay on the computer because this is a new computer. I won't normally record off the computer simply because I can pause more easily on my phone, but I already had the computer set up, so I was taking advantage of it. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I will see you the next time. God bless. Bye-bye.
Books keep coming home with me, piles so tall they're all I see. Turn a page and sail the sea. Reading always feels so free.